No. I played World of Warcraft, and I watched it. By the way, that's all I'm doing now. I'm back into it. Hey, everybody. We're live. Oh, that sucks. Hey, everybody. Oh, my dog wants to come in. Okay. Get in. Hanging out with the boys. Yeah. Hey, everybody. That came out last year.
That there's like basically like how, let's say like this is a poor example, but like how you go to Great Neck and you see like these office buildings and or like New Hyde Park and you're like I wonder what that's like unbranded office buildings
And that's what it is.
and you're like I wonder what people do in there. They're basically like social media centers.
Interesting.
For that exact reason.
All right. I need to do a mic check on you because my kids mess with the settings.
Are they cutting their own album?
They're cutting their own album
Their own
in
rap
here.
album?
All right,
You could record a rap album in here.
Let me get you on.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Oh man, what'd you do there? What's up?
Talk.
What's going on, everybody?
Keep talking. Keep talking.
About,
Normal.
We're gonna talk about NXT.
You piece of crap.
You piece of you piece of crap. What's up, blue-eyed prince? What's up,
He's my blue-eyed prince.
Greeniest Meister?
Ooh wee.
We haven't done the show in like 2 weeks?
I feel like months.
2 months. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a makeup person in here.
Can you mute that?
Yeah.
Perfect.
What do I do? There we go.
All right. Sorry. The lighting's a little off in here. It's actually very bright on you. Let's see if I can do this.
Oh, I think because these are on and these are never on.
Those they're dimmed.
Okay.
But I'm having a lot of issues. Like I've lost control of this one.
Are you a never nude?
I'm a no nude. What are those? LifeX. There we go. Oh, that's why. Got it.
Oh,
so much better.
My Amazon package is coming.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm a little rusty here. I'm going to hit this up. All right, let me just tweet that I'm live.
Yeah.
They totally screwed up Twitter. We are live.
In what regard?
The Twitter app on the Mac client sucks. Really sucks. Also, I have to tell you,
yeah,
I had no idea there was that much hatred for NXT from main roster fans.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the back and forth I was having?
And also the opposite is true too, where people are just like, nobody liked did you see my NXT joke?
No. Oh, the Seth Rollins?
With the necks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very well-worded neck joke. Guys, if you like neck jokes, stay tuned. Wrestle Kingdom is actually looking
good.
To be like the card of the year.
Do we start the show talking about the Jeffrey Epstein cover-up?
Sure.
It
was murder.
It was murder.
It was murder.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I think I think the body isn't his, and he's on an island somewhere.
Maybe he's a zombie now. Maybe he's like a Frankenstein. Frankenstein. All right. My voice is still screwed up.
Yeah, man.
So,
I'm glad you're feeling okay. You look like you lost a lot of weight.
I did lose a lot of weight. I gotta fix the shot here. Sorry.
Okay. What's up, Derek? Should I do this? Should I do the whole show like this? Do you have a pack of cigarettes I can roll up in my sleeve?
I can find one.
All right. All right, everybody. Welcome to Mountain, the source for all things professional wrestling.
All right.
I think
we're good.
I'm ready.
Let me do this double shot. Fine. Right.
Derek has the ultimate Matt Riddle boner.
Oh yeah, he loves him so much. Dude, that's all he sends me is pictures of Matt Riddle's junk constantly on Twitter. That's all he sends me.
Oh my god.
All right, just one more thing. He's like, dude, I love his package.
He's gonna be the fan that, you know, when Riddle kicks off his flip flops,
Yeah.
he's gonna catch it between his butt cheeks.
All right, I'm ready.
I'd lose my mind if I saw that on TV.
I would love to see that.
I was like, oh, that's Derek. Oh, wait, he jumped up and caught Matt Riddle's flip flop in his butt cheek.
All right. Ready, guys? Let's begin in 3, 2, and 1. Hey, everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Angel Zarian. I'm joined by...
Hi.
Rich Stambo.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
No name for you today.
How's the well, talk to me about that potato account.
Oh, man.
It's too clever to be Deegan.
Okay.
It's almost too clever to be you.
I am now. At first, it was really funny.
Uh-huh.
That I was dying from the potato.
The potato plague?
Everybody made a big joke about the potato plague and how...
It's back!
It's back. Every time I say potato, it happens. I'm now convinced 100% this man poisoned me with his Persian potato.
More than likely.
No, I had pneumonia. And it just so happened it was around the time of the Great Potato Incident where a Persian man on the train fed me a half-boiled potato.
Ugh, gross. Come here.
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah.
Thing.
What? What did you think?
I
I was wearing padding?
No. Like, I wanted to see if it was an iron-on.
No. It's like I don't know what it is.
It's an iron-on.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not silkscreen. It's an iron-on.
Interesting.
I'm not shaming your shirt. It's actually
The XFL.
It's actually a cool shirt.
It's the New York Guardians. I'm buying the franchise. I just want to let
I'm
you
sure
guys
you
know.
could in like a year.
So much to talk about. God, where do we begin? NXT invasion, the Saudi incident.
Let's talk. Let's just let the cat out of the bag.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Saudi stuff. And this is purely speculation.
Okay. I could go based on non-speculation on what I was told.
Okay, what were you? This is what Andrew was told.
I'm going to tell you everything that I was told.
Okay.
I was told that the Saudis are good boys and girls.
Okay.
And that there was nothing to see there. Nothing happened.
Boy.
They all chose to sit on the plane. It was just they had such a great time that they stayed there an extra 24 hours on the plane
To absorb what just happened.
Well, yes. Okay. So I reached out, and everybody was very quiet till about Sunday. Sunday
when everybody was back home.
When everybody was back home.
Yeah.
The person that I spoke to got home on Saturday.
Okay. Brock Lesnar?
It was Brock. No,
Oh, man, that's
it
your
was
source?
Brock and Paul.
It'd be amazing if Brock was your source.
You would love that, right?
Ugh.
You guys will love that if Brock Lesnar was like the guy that calls me about
That he
everything.
was a dweeb and was just like, Andrew.
Hey, listen, I called Dave Meltzer, and he didn't answer the phone. So, and then I called Brian Alvarez, and he didn't answer. So I'm calling you now to tell you what happened.
Right,
That's what he sounds like.
Talk to me. I want to hear this.
They were told that there were mechanical problems.
Okay.
Okay.
It happens.
There were according, and listen, I wasn't there. I don't know. This is what I was told. There were mechanical problems.
But you've been on a plane that
I have been on flight delays.
Right.
I'll give you an example. I was in Mexico a couple years ago, and there were no planes out. I was stuck there for like an extra 2 days because of bad weather everywhere.
Right.
The Northeast got pounded. I couldn't get into the airport. There were no weather issues. There was a mechanical problem. According to him, there were first, and it kind of coincides with AJ Styles' story, by the way.
Okay.
But he was a little bit more vocal about what he thought happened. There were mechanical issues. They all were aware of mechanical issues. They told him that there were mechanical issues. And then the mechanical issues didn't get fixed. Okay? It took like forever to get fixed. They were very hospitable to them.
Okay.
But it started
the
feeling...
Superstars or the Saudis?
To the Saudis. They were very... The Saudis were very hospitable to them, but it started getting weird around like the 6th hour when they just... there was no update.
Everybody on the plane, take your pants off.
Everybody take pants off.
Getting weird.
It was getting really weird for them. So they actually, let me open up the message.
You're trying to be as political as possible.
I'm trying to not fill in any words.
Well, here before you look that up, this whole thing, basically there was 2 things that happened. One, WWE released a statement about the mechanical issues. Fine. But then Hugo Savinovich, former WWE commentator and from the Spanish announce team, was like, this is what happened. Well, by the way, the Saudis owe Vince money. Vince pulled the feed to the Saudi stream. The prince got upset and grounded the planes with the superstars.
It's not in that order.
Right.
Like, again, that's all of that is quite possible.
Right.
But it's from a summary of multiple incidents.
But isn't it crazy how...
I'm trying to find the email. I'm sorry, guys.
No. Out of everybody, it's Hugo Savinovich who was like, no, this is what happened. And then
you know what was really sad? The whole thing was in the middle of like a eulogy to his wife that passed away.
Right. Oh, my God.
So it was really... Okay, so...
Even crazier.
So they... Okay, so there were mechanical issues.
Okay.
According to what they were told. That aspect is correct. But it got weird when they weren't filled in on a lot of the information and started feeling, and this is what he said, they weren't hostages, okay? But some people would say that it felt hostagey because they weren't being provided the information. Also, the pilot timed out.
Okay.
After X amount of hours. So now, not only do they need another pilot available, they also need another plane. Certain people were allowed to leave. That's what he said. I don't know if he means Brock in regards to the government allowing him.
Hulk Hogan.
They had their own chartered flight. Yeah. Brock had his own chartered flight. Vince had his own chartered flight. A lot of the anger and speculation comes from everybody feeling like they were left out of the loop at what was really happening. And that essentially there was no upper management for a long period of time giving them information. Okay. So I think it was a perfect storm of everything that happened.
Didn't I say, like, when they started doing this, like, these guys are going to get kidnapped?
Dude, listen, I think being in Saudi Arabia also, would they have felt the same way if they were in Australia? I don't think so, but I think the vagueness coming from the Saudi side of things really made them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think they enjoyed making them feel uncomfortable because of stuff that happened prior to this.
This is also a very touchy subject, and anything that has to do with the Middle East is a very extremely touchy subject.
As you know, I'm a Middle East expert.
Sure.
Okay. I'm a Middle East expert. I know everything that happens in the Middle East. I know what's happening at all times in every
What's happening in Oman?
I know so much about Oman.
What's happening in the United Arab Emirates right now?
So it got a lot. But this is what he's saying now. Many people felt that they weren't allowed to leave. And they weren't allowed to get another flight out.
Okay.
A lot of these people have experienced flight delays.
But yeah.
Saudi Arabia is a hub in the Middle East for multiple flights out. How is it that a lot of top talent didn't leave? And he gave the example of AJ Styles. How is it that AJ couldn't walk off that plane, go into the airport, buy a ticket to, I don't know, Paris or London or anywhere, and just say, F this, I'm going home.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
See, that's the thing.
The thing. We don't know, and he doesn't know. All he is saying was it felt very uncomfortable for a very long period of time. And that is the general feeling that I've... And by the way, this is only one guy that I spoke to. I didn't speak to multiple people. I'm just telling you what this one person on the talent side said.
This kind of stuff is fascinating, you know, especially like, again, it's just the touchiness of the Middle Eastern connection with regards to American entertainers being over there. And there's so much stuff that we don't get.
Listen, it's a propaganda piece. We know this.
And obviously, like, and the first thing that pops into my head, well, the other day was the 40th anniversary of the Iran hostage crisis.
Yes, 1980.
In which they made a movie about. 2 movies. Well, Fargo.
Fargo. You know. Wasn't it Fargo?
Yeah.
No,
so,
Fargo. Listen, by the way, my family escaped there in 1979.
Right.
They headed for the freaking hills.
So for the speculation of these superstars saying, yo, this made me uncomfortable, and these guys are essentially, at the end of the day, they are professional travelers, it makes you think that something is fishy.
These are guys, I travel 7 times a year.
Okay.
Right? On a high end. Right now, I'm at like 4.
Yeah.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Flights get canceled.
Yeah,
Flights get delayed. But I also don't have the accessibility of reaching out to my multi-billion-dollar company and saying, dude, I'm stuck here. Get me the hell out of here.
Right.
And them sending a chartered flight or getting me another ticket. You know, a lot of times, like I was in Vegas, my flight was delayed by 3 hours. It happens. Not 24 hours.
Yeah.
Unless there is a major catastrophe happening in a region, like a weather-related issue. Or I was flying when all the pilots timed out and the flight attendants timed out because of a bad storm. So what was happening before, this is a great example. When I say the pilot timed out, pilots are only allowed X amount of hours to be on an aircraft.
Right.
If they hit that certain number, they get timed out.
Right.
Now, this is FAA policy. I don't know what airline they were, what policy they were running under. But with the FAA, same thing with flight attendants. So let's say when there's a layover, right? Like let's say you're flying to Orlando, there's bad weather, you're the flight attendant and the pilot, and now you're in Orlando. And you're not on the plane, but you're on the clock because you're stuck there. So they are in a hotel. You're still on the clock. So you time out for the week, whatever that X amount of hours is.
Right.
You can no longer work. Now they need to find a replacement for you for that flight. It's very complicated. That didn't happen in this scenario other than the pilot timing out, according to them. Also, the pilot was very... out of all people on the plane, the pilot was very open what was going on. But also security being there, there was a lot going on.
That's strange.
He feels that the security was brought there because they're big, tough wrestlers, because it's still like kind of kayfabe over there.
Right.
This is his theory.
Yeah,
I'm not saying this is true. Because it's still kind of kayfabed over there, they thought the wrestlers would cause trouble.
Okay.
Great. Which is hysterical to think.
Wouldn't it have been great if Hogan showed up? He was like, "You land this private jet, brother."
Can you imagine?
They land, and then he walks up to the plane with all the superstars, rips the door off the hinges.
All right, brothers,
like, all right,
let's go.
Brothers, let's get out of here. I'm flying.
So it is a listen. Everybody, I'm not going to go into my stance on the whole Saudi Arabia thing. We've done that. But what was fascinating was the sheer number of paid people to defend Saudi Arabia.
Right.
If you guys notice this, and it's very obvious, and I'm not getting conspiracy theory-ish here.
Sure.
Anytime we hashtag Saudi Arabia or Crown Jewel and wrote anything negative, we got bombarded with positivity about how great the Prince of Saudi Arabia is.
But then when you check on those profiles, they're all like bot 0,
like 5 followers and everything in Arabic.
It's pretty nuts too. Yeah. Like the propaganda is interesting.
The propaganda is fascinating.
I feel very bad for like the guys who are stuck there, because like nobody wants to be stuck there longer than they have to, you know? And granted, like, all right, let's say you're with your buddies or whatever. These guys had families at home, you know? And then like at what point do you start to worry for your safety? where you're like, you know what? Just another
Listen,
day in the office.
This is a government, and without getting, obviously, I don't want to get politically and dark.
It's a kingdom. It's not a government.
Because this is an entertainment show. This is a government that killed a journalist.
Supposedly.
I mean, they did.
Yeah.
There's no questions about it. They murdered this guy and dismembered him because of criticism.
I'm trying to avoid the jihad on your behalf.
You don't want a fatwa put on me like Larry David. By the way, that's my favorite thing when the Ayatollah puts a fatwa on Larry David.
Such a great season ender. But yeah, like that. These are the perils that happen when you deal with a kingdom. It doesn't matter if it's in the Middle East or anywhere else in the world. Like if you have one guy that
this is not a Western society that we're dealing with.
If you have one guy that says what goes, that's not your best course of action. You know what I mean? Like whoever is in charge could have just been like, yo, keep him on the tarmac for a day.
Yeah, F these guys.
Yeah.
Don't let them leave. Let them stay there.
I don't care if I owe them money.
Yeah.
Let them stay there. Let them suffer.
Yeah.
Let me show them what I can do.
And listen, it very well could have been that.
It also could have just been mechanical.
Or
trouble.
It honestly could have been a bizarre scenario of mechanical issues. He doesn't feel, and many people and this guy wants to be 100% anonymous. He said, I 100% do not feel that it was sheer mechanical. Maybe there were mechanical reasons.
Interesting.
And they took that as an opportunity. To do this.
I think they replaced Seth Rollins.
You think they replaced him?
They escorted him off the plane and they replaced him with their version of Seth Rollins.
Version of Seth Rollins?
Yep. He's infiltrating. But then he's going to fall in love with America.
That's a great story.
He's going to reveal that he's the
it's been me all along.
The lab created
Saudi Seth Rollins.
Yeah. And then
Isn't that Mansoor?
He's gonna. Oh my god!
Dude, by the way, what a great match!
Canadian.
Yeah, well, he's done some very weird stuff also. By the way, have you seen a lot of the stuff online that he's done? He's a big 4chan guy.
Did he do like the ding dong wrestling stuff?
No,
Rollins did.
He did the 1940s cartoon depiction of a Jew.
Oh no!
He did that on camera during Shia LaBeouf's.
No.
Yeah. Shia LaBeouf's thing.
I'm looking it up right now. He's not, he didn't grow up in which I think is
he
funny.
didn't. No, he's American.
And also like
he was born here.
One of his ring names is Big Money Manny, which I think they should go back to.
Yeah.
But how great is it like that they're building up Mansoor to be essentially the Saudi Bruno Sammartino?
Dude, he was great. That was such a great match.
He's never gonna lose there.
Yeah, that was a great match.
He's also the only superstar that will never lose in his hometown.
He will never lose. He'll be like Bruno at the Garden.
Yep.
So let's talk about this. So it was a weird show. Seth Rollins lost the WWE, the Universal Championship.
Was cool. I'm glad they did it like relatively quick too.
It was the red light thing is weird. The crowd was done at that point. I think it's interesting that they went in that direction.
Let's quickly go through the card.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Just because, like, that was the end of it. All right, so Humberto Carrillo won the 20-man Battle Royal, which I think is great because they're really hot on that guy. They need that Latino market. Like, whenever they do stuff like this, they're hungry for that Latino market. Brock beat Kane. You know how long that match was?
How long?
2 minutes.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about this match. They built Kane up. The one guy that killed Brock Lesnar, destroyed him, left a scar on his face, all this stuff.
Yep.
Kane goes in there and taps out in 2 minutes to Brock Lesnar.
Yep. A surprise Kimura lock.
Listen, I did not hate that finish.
Right.
I did not hate the concept of this. This was Brock's win over him. You know, like Hogan had to get his wins.
Right.
You know, he had to get that return with Ultimate Warrior. This was his moment.
Kick out on 3, brother.
I couldn't believe that they made it go 2 minutes. I thought maybe they would do something a little bit more.
Nope.
Obviously, Kane is banged up. He needs knee surgery. He looks bizarre.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you. I know that the guy is in great shape for a normal human being.
Exactly.
This is a normal fighter. But you put him in the ring with, I mean, everybody's jacked up in this company.
Not jacked up, sculpted.
Brock Lesnar's unnatural.
Yeah.
And now, you're going in there, and you know that Kane is an impressive fight, one of the best of all time. Yeah. Pound for pound guy. Destroyed Brock Lesnar. And he just he actually looked like an out-of-shape Middle Eastern dad.
Okay.
Like, he looked like my cousin Joe.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He didn't look impressive next to Brock Lesnar. I get it, dude. Brock is abnormal.
He's a freaking
Normal people don't look like that.
It's funny because
we all have a little body dysmorphia when it comes to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect this to end in 2 minutes to a Kimura, and that's it.
Yep.
He's gone.
It was pretty interesting too about how like it was just this is like an oddball match to set up Ray versus Brock.
I just got to tell you, this is the best line. Blue Eyed Prince in our chat room. By the way, we do this show live on Thursdays generally, but today we're doing it on Tuesday because we haven't been around for a while. He just wrote, my friend described Kane as someone who looks like dropped lasagna.
That's pretty good.
That is the greatest. That is actually beyond hysterical.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty funny. So, like, this is just like a weird, like, okay, the real payoff is going to be Brock versus Ray at Survivor Series.
Dude, I'm kind of into it, though.
I'm into it, too.
Yeah.
I liked it last night. It was good. Also, this shows that, like, I feel like they could have done Walter at this point, because of the invasion. But, whatever. Okay, so then you had the 9-team tag team turmoil match for the WWE whatever. The OC won. Great. That was kind of fun. So the OC are the greatest tag team in the world now.
They are the greatest tag team in the world.
32 minutes. Mansoor beats Cesaro 12 minutes. Fun match. Both those guys, Cesaro could work with anybody. Tyson Fury beat Braun Strowman by countout. That went 8 minutes. I'm surprised it went that long.
How long did it go? 8 minutes?
8 minutes.
Okay.
I really like Tyson Fury.
You know what? What charisma on this guy?
Oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Forget about him personally, but
It's all
what
here.
charisma? What charisma on this guy? He's another guy, dude. He's one of the top, probably the number 2 or 3 or 1, depending, arguably, best heavyweight in the world.
Right.
He looks like a sack of crap next to these wrestlers.
He's
an impressive guy in boxing.
I think he carries himself a lot. He's like a normal big guy.
He's like a big-bellied dude.
Big, fit, he's a pro fighter.
It's fascinating when you take these top guys in their field. I mean, and I'm only saying aesthetically.
But also, Brock was the only MMA guy that looked like that.
Prior to that generation,
yeah.
No, but that era,
yeah.
kind of, sort of. But like, you could look at I don't know. You look at all those guys from the steroid era. Mark Coleman, Mark Kerr. I'm not saying Ken Shamrock, Frank Shamrock.
Yeah,
all these guys were beasts, like prior generations.
So Tyson Fury, I want to see him back. I think this was just like, was this a marquee matchup? Do you think the Saudis really? Because this whole thing was built around the Saudi perception of this is what a big show should be.
Yes and no.
Do you think they gave a crap?
So here's the thing about Tyson Fury. Tyson, I think this was orchestrated amongst his promotion and boxing.
Okay.
Tyson Fury, the previous fight that he had, didn't really do well in Vegas. Okay. They were expecting it to be a tremendous show, but the fight before that was this blockbuster. Heavyweight boxing is back. This guy is a huge star. He's going to have his return match. It's going to be, it was a no contest. Nobody won. It was a draw. It was this huge buildup. He doesn't have that draw power on his own, and I think this was another way to kind of elevate him to that level.
Okay.
I think a lot of people had no idea who Tyson Fury was, and now they know who he is. Which is great as far as brand recognition, but did it do anything? Like, I was excited because I watch boxing. Pro wrestling fans, by the way, do not watch boxing, and a lot of them don't watch MMA, but MMA guys watch wrestling.
Well, I have a bunch of friends who watch boxing, but only one friend that is still in love with heavyweight boxing.
See, I really like heavyweight boxing.
Okay.
It's made a comeback. It's gotten a lot better. I don't like watching, like same thing with UFC. I don't like watching tiny little dudes fighting.
Not a fan of Pacquiao.
I'm not a fan of Pacquiao. I'm not a fan. Like, I get it. I get they're great, but it's not my deal. I like big
men.
Musculature.
Yeah.
Vascular.
Who's your favorite heavyweight fighter of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Evander Holyfield.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Evander Holyfield. Hated Lennox Lewis. If we're going that era, obviously Mike Tyson.
The era we grew up with.
Yeah. Evander Holyfield.
Holifield's great. Well, my same friend who loves heavyweight boxing met Evander Holyfield at, I think, a Toyota dealership last year. And
what, doing a promotion?
Yeah, he was just like signing stuff, and then my buddy walked by with his friends, my friend Ralph, and they were like, "Yo, it's Evander Holyfield. Let's go say hi." And they were like, "Yo, can we meet him?" And they were like, "Yeah, he's got no line right now." And they spent like a good 20 minutes with Evander Holyfield. Real deal.
The real deal. Evander Holyfield.
So the whole Tyson Fury thing, great, fine, whatever. Doesn't make him look bad. Doesn't make Braun look bad. I don't know. I feel like not that Braun is out the door, but I feel like he's one of those guys at this point that they just don't know what to do with.
Yeah, listen, Braun, do you think he's too big for this era? I know that's crazy.
I think they portray him as too soft.
He's too soft.
Yeah, it's like his stuff, I feel, as a fan, is too, like, jabberjaw nonsense. Like, he just comes out and he's like, I'm big, and you know what happens when you fight a big guy. There's not enough, like, real destruction. If you want to make this guy a heel, imagine him just being a vicious heel, just kidnapping people, setting places, just like being a mean big MFer.
The WWE has only had one successful big man.
The Undertaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not Andre. Andre wasn't theirs. It honestly was The Undertaker.
Kane too.
Kane too, to an extent. But, I mean, you're talking about a major attraction, big deal.
Yes. Yeah.
They've only been able to do one. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that in the era that we're in now, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to get over. You need the right opponents for him. And to be honest, for Braun, he doesn't have the right opponent. He's 6 foot what? 9?
Who?
Braun.
Yeah.
6'9", 400 pounds almost. Who's he gonna face in a believable match?
Right.
When you had a Hogan and you would put him up against a guy like that, Hogan would be able to tell you the story like, I'm a big dude, but this guy's so much bigger than me.
What am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do? And he would do that stare up, and he would back up, like, and you could make a guy that's even smaller than him.
Yeah.
Make them into like a Earthquake. Great example.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Earthquake was small, boss man, smaller than Hogan,
but still not small.
Still not small.
All right. So again, we always talk about Hulk Hogan. Here's the deal with Hogan. Hogan in his prime was 6'8". Hogan is a giant.
Giant man.
Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash were all in the late sixes. Like what was
Kevin Nash is 6'10". I don't know. What's Kevin Nash height? 6'10". Yeah.
Right.
6'10".
Scott Hall was 5'8". Hogan was 5'8". He's a big dude. Now Hogan made a lot of money.
6'7" for Scott Hall. By the way, isn't that crazy that he's 6'7"? We never realized that, right?
Just a big dude.
He was just like a normal big guy. He wasn't
wide.
A giant. He'd be a giant by today's standard.
So the Hogan thing was like Hogan always wrestled dudes that were slightly bigger than him, so he can kind of hunch down a little bit and do the exact thing you said. Oh no, what am I gonna do about this? And again, Hogan is a big mark, and I know some people don't like him, but if you go on the guy's Twitter feed, he does talk about wrestling. And he's always like,
he loves wrestling.
Yo, I could have made, when Big Cass was in WWE, he's like, yo, me and Big Cass could have made so much money together with Cass as the heel.
But you know what? Big Cass is a great example, right? Big dude just didn't. They have a very difficult time telling you the story of a big guy in a small guy's business. Because even if you put him up against a 6'4", 6'5" guy, who do they have that 6'4", 6'5"? John Cena, Brock's 6'3"?
Yeah.
Okay, Randy Orton.
Rollins
is 6 foot, 6'1".
No, I think he's a little taller than that.
But he's small. You know what I mean? They don't have a lot of these plus 6'1" guys.
Roman's a big dude.
You know what? Roman is a big dude, and they do a great story about making. He's one. he has that Hogan thing where he could make you feel like he's
know,
tiny.
Yeah.
He could go up a guy against a guy that's only an inch taller than him, and he'll tell you the story.
Yeah.
Taker was great at that too.
Absolutely.
When he would go up against a big guy and he would do the look up, and he would shrink in front of you.
Yeah.
These guys, they can't do that because they're already a foot and a half smaller.
So you think Braun is too big?
Yes, I think Braun is too big.
He's not a believable big man.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Man. And also that's another guy that Hogan said he could make a lot of money with.
Rollins is 6'1".
Imagine Braun in the 80s.
Braun in the 80s would have been one of the biggest names in the business.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tremendous name.
Who are the big guys that Hogan had programs with? Andre? Big John Studd? Taker?
Sorry, my brain just stopped. Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
How tall is Paul?
He had to be over 6 foot. Let's see. Paul Orndorff was 6 feet tall.
Okay.
But again, guy with tremendous presence.
Yep.
Right? You thought he was bigger.
Same thing with Savage. Savage was like 5'10".
Savage
but made himself
great presence, yeah.
Gigantic. All right, next match was AJ Styles beat Humberto Carrillo at 12 minutes. Great, that was fun. Now, here's an interesting one. Natalya beat Lacey Evans by submission in a singles match, 7:21.
Okay.
They made them get very covered up and also put t-shirt. What's happening over there? Are we getting a visit from another dimension?
There we go. Tell me when that happens.
Full body suits.
Not only full body
with
suits.
T-shirts on top.
Do you think they put on the full body suit and they're like, okay, they're going to be covered head to toe, and they're like, no, not enough.
Not enough.
Put an oversized sleeping T-shirt on and go out there.
Now I'm not going to go too into it, but I thought for the Saudi people that was pretty fantastic.
I think it was a great story for them.
Absolutely.
It did exactly what it was supposed to do as far as, showing, change, I guess.
I think the showing change, and also people were saying like, why Lacey Evans, why Natalya? I'll tell you why. This was in two parts. One, this was a gift for Natalya because she is the veteran in that ladies' locker room at this point. Right?
Yeah, sure. And I think I thought they put on a good match.
Yes. And for Lacey Evans, I think they're so hot on her that this was their way of saying, you're the newcomer. This could be your future. This could be you changing lives for the next 15 years of your career. Just like, so it was kind of like they were placating both of them a little bit, but I think Natalya and her were good to do it as opposed to like a Sasha Banks or like a Bayley or like a Charlotte Flair, He had a tag team, the 20-minute 10-man tag team match where Roman, Rusev, Ricochet, Shorty G, and Ali with Hulk and Jimmy Hart. So great. And Team Flair, Orton, Corbin, Lashley, Nakamura, Drew McIntyre with Ric Flair. This was a very quick, dopey, and fun match.
Yeah, fine. I didn't, I took my kids trick-or-treating at one point, and this was during, my father loved this match, by the way. My father was watching.
Hogan.
Loves Hogan, man.
Yeah.
And he loved the match. So, I guess it did its job.
I like seeing older Hogan come out like real confused because behind those shades, he just looks real uncomfortable.
Yeah. He's and it's so sad to see. He's an old dude now.
Yeah.
He's 66 years old, 67 years old. The concept of one more run, that's out the window with him.
I don't know,
he's starting
man.
to feel like an old dude.
I think he's got one more amazing match.
I got one more leg drop in me, brother.
That's it. Hit the gym, hit the chiropractor, do yoga for a year.
He's gonna shatter, dude.
Come back like,
He's gonna
be great.
shatter.
Him versus Roman, WrestleMania. Believe it. I think Roman should start doing it like this.
Like this?
It's like real dainty.
Yeah.
And then the main event, The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. The stipulation was the match could not be stopped for any reason. And Bray Wyatt beat Seth Rollins. Pretty cool.
Okay. It was a fine match. He took like 18 finishers.
Do you think he scared the Saudis?
Spooked them.
Yeah? You think he spooked them?
He's a spooky guy.
Interesting.
He's a spooky guy. He won the title.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see where this goes because this guy takes like 18 finishers to lose. So are they going to continue that?
Well, he's on SmackDown now.
He's on SmackDown now.
And you know who's gonna get that title, right?
Who?
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
It's 100% gonna be Roman Reigns.
Oh God. Okay, so now So the whole Saudi thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown has nobody. They rush to bring everybody to Buffalo from Florida.
How crazy is that?
They barely made the show, by the way.
Yeah.
To the point that it was so late that's why Brock had to open the show.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have they weren't in place for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a phenomenal show.
Great show.
It was really fun. The main event was a great main event between Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole.
Baby.
By the way, Adam Cole's turning out to be the biggest star out of all this.
Absolutely.
Right? He had a match with Seth Rollins last night that was really good.
Yeah.
He had a match with Daniel Bryan.
Fantastic.
It seems like I don't know what they're going to do with it. He's not going to face Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series.
No, they're going to it's going to be undisputed. I guarantee you it's going to be undisputed with Finn Balor.
So I was told that it's going to be Roderick versus AJ versus Shinsuke.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. And the women are doing the same thing with all the titles. So it's Bailey. Who's the champion right now?
No,
I don't even know. Jesus, my brain really just stops midway through the show.
Mm-hmm.
Becky, Bailey, and come on.
I'm not helping you.
Jesus Christ,
Shayna
Baszler. Jeez, sorry guys. I'm still
and,
really.
What's her name?
The Hearts girl. Shayna Baszler. That's gonna be one match. They're gonna probably do the titles, the tag team champions versus tag team champions. They're gonna do this whole thing. I don't know what they're gonna do with the main event picture because obviously it looks like it's Brock and Ray.
Right, yeah. I want Walter to be in there.
Who's Bray facing? Is it gonna be another Seth Rollins match?
Roman Reigns.
No, thanks.
Roman Reigns.
Daniel Bryan would be another great person. Where are you putting Daniel Bryan in this mix?
Oh yeah, God bless Daniel Bryan for staying behind because otherwise that whole main event for SmackDown would have been ruined.
Yeah,
they would have had to call John Cena.
I would like to see former NXT guys play a part like Sami Zayn,
absolutely,
and Kevin Owens. All these NXT guys that were NXT guys that are now on the main roster. Maybe they're going to be like, I don't know where I want to go.
Here's my prediction for this.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the traditional 5, 5, and 5, right?
No, not all of them.
No, well,
some is going to be like that
for the Survivor Series match.
Have they done a 3-way 5-5-5?
I don't think so.
First time ever.
Yeah. So you're gonna get your 3-way 5-5-5. I think there's gonna be people defecting. Not so much Rollins, because now that he lost a title, he's immediately shot into this "what does Seth Rollins do" storyline, which is almost like the what does Stone Cold do storyline.
Oh yeah, because he's like, maybe I'm not good enough for this. Yeah,
because he was the first NXT champ. So anyway, I think Riddle is turning on NXT. I think Riddle's going to be brought up to Raw or SmackDown.
Keith Lee looked really impressive yesterday.
He's awesome. I think he's going to stay with NXT. I can see Nakamura going back to NXT. I can see Sammy going back to NXT. Because I think you're gonna get some flip flop.
I'm curious what that NXT rating is going to be on Wednesday. This may be a week that they beat AEW.
Well, this is also what we talked about, where they were like, "Yo, guess what? Finn Balor on NXT. Boom, guess what? Seth Rollins on NXT. John Cena wins the NXT Championship."
Listen, it's gonna happen. Now they're a main product now. So, but Adam Cole looked excellent.
Yeah.
He looked very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very impressive. We'll see. I'm actually very excited for Survivor Series.
Same here.
This has kind of become the pay-per-view that we hang out at.
Oh,
if you notice that. We did that McDonald's party a couple years ago. We've done it a couple times. Do you want to do White Castles for Survivor? When is Survivor Series this year?
Survivor Series 2019, I believe.
It's going to fall on my wife's birthday. I'm willing to bet.
Oh,
no. November 24th.
November 24th.
Perfect. All right. So why don't we do this?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we do a special show where we're just eating White Castles, drinking beers?
That sounds good.
Maybe doing it from the living room. Maybe doing it from the living room. We could hit some lights up. We could do a whole thing from there.
Okay. That's great.
All right. I'm into this.
I'm down with that. Are we going to do it this time, or are you going to...
No. I would like to do it this time.
All right.
I would like to do
set
it
up the cameras?
Yeah, we'll set up the cameras.
We'll have a White Castle cam.
So, I don't know. I'm looking at this. Oh, here's one option. You're going to have the NXT women versus the SmackDown women.
Also, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
The day before Survivor Series is NXT War Games.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So I'm betting that there's going to be some kind of Raw and SmackDown invasion.
By the way, our friend Bob is watching. He says, eating White Castles, you guys have a death wish.
I like White Castle.
I got a stomach of steel.
I'll do White Castle like once or twice a year, and I'll be okay.
By the way, I did that Impossible Burger from Burger King.
What do you think?
I have to tell you, tasted great.
Yeah?
Tasted like a burger.
Did it make your doo-doo go crazy?
No. I'm dying.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
Was it before you got pneumonia?
Did it give you pneumonia? It was midway through pneumonia. So let's do that. And then the night before is NXT, which we don't even know what they're going to do with this.
Right.
Is anything announced for this?
Yes.
All right, what's announced?
The War Games?
Yeah, the women's War Game.
Uh-huh.
And the men's War Game.
It's Shayna Baszler and TBA versus Rhea Ripley and TBA. I love me some Rhea Ripley.
Dude, I love her. I think she's
big.
big. She's 6 feet tall.
I think she's going to come to Raw or SmackDown. I think she's going to defect.
Yeah, they're going to have to, listen, her and a couple other ones, they're going to have to pull the trigger on.
I hope Walter shows up. I also hope Kushida shows up. And I hope, I'm coming around to Dijakovic.
He's growing on me.
He's growing on me too. It's a weird head. He looks like just like a big European guy from Astoria.
You know who's coming back? Lars Sullivan.
Great.
We're 6-7 months in.
Who cares?
That experiment, I don't know what's going to go on with that. I've heard zero. I've asked, what's the deal with Lars? And they said this was a blessing.
Wow.
So I don't know what the overall feel is with this, but
this just in. Who cares?
Who cares?
Sorry. Yeah, listen, man, that guy does nothing. The roster is so saturated on three fronts. It's hard to care about anybody, right? Like really, like I love all the NXT dudes. They're all incredible. Your core Raw and SmackDown guys are great, but like for you as a fan, let me ask you something. And this is not a knock on anybody at all, but let me ask you something. You see Keith Lee running down there. You see Matt Riddle running down there. Dominic Dijakovic, Tommaso Ciampa, the Undisputed Era. They're all rushing to the ring. And then your answer to them is R-Truth, Zack Ryder, and the other guy, Myers.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So as a fan, are you just like...
No, I get that. No, I get that. So the SmackDown side of stuff was a lot better than the Raw side of stuff. Because they had their full bearings to think about and to deal with, and they generally don't do well when that happens. Again, they always do well with their back against the wall. The European tour starts tomorrow, by the way. So the main roster invading NXT can't happen till the 20th.
Right.
This is the same problem they had last year. Do you remember they went on one brand went on the tour and the other one didn't, and they couldn't do that crossover, so it kind of sat in limbo. It just bad timing for it.
Yeah.
I think NXT's going to get a ratings pop just because. Think about how many people for the first time heard about NXT. 2.5 million people were watching, right? SmackDown. How many of those people do you think they probably aware of NXT? How many of them are actually ever watching it?
Your dog freaked me the F out right there, by the way.
He just showed up?
Because I didn't realize he was behind you the whole time. And there was just motion.
He's just chilling.
Can you repeat the question, please?
How many people do you think just discovered NXT because of this?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
I'm positive.
A whole lot. I know a lot.
So the ratings have to go up from here. I don't know what the numbers are going to be. Maybe they beat AEW, maybe not. AEW has a pay-per-view on Saturday, which I'm not here for. I'm at a wedding.
Are you?
I am.
I might order it, man.
I'm definitely going to order it the following day or when I get back. But
this is full gear, right?
Full gear.
Let's go through that card.
Yeah, let's do it.
Full.
Guys, also, submit your questions to us.
Like Richard Gere.
Give us your questions in the chat room.
So far, only 4 matches have been announced.
Really?
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
1, Adam Page versus Pac.
Okay, should be a good match.
Pac. It's going to be great. The Young Bucks versus Santana and Ortiz.
Should be a good match.
Chris Jericho.
I love that the gimmick is lunatic Puerto Ricans.
Oh, it's so good.
Right?
They are lunatic Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, love it.
Chris Jericho versus Cody in a singles match for the AEW
Who do you think
World
takes that?
Championship. Honestly, I kind of have a feeling it's going to be Cody, and I think his announcement tomorrow is going to be, if I don't win that title, I'm retiring from wrestling.
Oh, yeah, he has an announcement.
Right. And Mox versus Omega in a non-sanctioned match, which I'm very, very excited about. That's the main event, man. That's going to make people go home happy. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of surprises on this show.
Tomorrow's show.
Tomorrow's show and on Saturday's show.
Okay. So we got Cody and Chris Jericho.
Yep.
And there, what was the thing? If it ends in a draw, it goes to judges.
That was what they said last week?
Yes. So
the
match, it's a 60-minute time limit.
Okay.
But if it goes to a draw, it goes to the judges. So I don't know if they're instituting this new thing for title matches and this is future-proofing, or if they intend on this going 60 minutes.
Like an Iron Man match, but they can't call it an Iron Man match.
I don't want to see a 60-minute match with them.
Okay.
I think Cody right now has become extremely likable.
Yes.
Like really main event style promos. He's just done great with this. I don't know how long this match should go with Jericho. Less is more sometimes.
Well, think about it this way too. Jericho is taking on Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom next year. So how does that work? Is he going to be AEW champion?
That's the other announcement. So most likely not.
Right.
Right? So January 4th and 5th is the Tokyo Dome because they're doing two nights.
Yep.
Chris Jericho challenged Tanahashi at Power Struggle a couple days ago, which I haven't watched yet.
It's really good.
I know that Hiromu made a return.
Hiromu made a comeback, and can I spoil something for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
We're talking about NJPW for like 2 seconds right now.
Sidebar.
The Will Ospreay Bushi match was fantastic, right? Right before Hiromu came out. Will Ospreay did something I've never seen before. He sucked the mist out of Bushi's
mouth.
Yeah.
I heard.
Which was, this is so great, man. He's never done that. Like, he sucked the mist out of his mouth.
Well, he made out with him,
sprayed it back into his face.
A little gross, but
whatever. Anyway, so Jericho's,
do you know how they do the mist in the mouth?
It's food coloring.
It's in a plastic bag, and they hide it in the mouth. Or they hide it, like in the tape, and then they put it in the mouth. So you probably just swapped it.
I think Muda would actually just fill his mouth
with green
and
gunk?
Just like same thing with Tajiri. I think they just had it like at the ready.
I explained to kayfabe like where the mist comes from and blew people's mind the other day. It's a gland, right?
Right.
So this is the kayfabe way that this happens. You train. It's like like I'm gonna say ninja training for lack of a better term, but it's like the special training you go through, and you learn how to stimulate that gland in your throat, and that's why like Muda would do this before.
Tajiri would do that too,
and Tajiri because they're actually stimulating it to produce the and
so good.
And depending on your mood or your body temperature or what like extra stimulation, it would be a different color. So like red means something different, green means something different, blue means something different.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the kayfabe reason on how they have mist.
But also like what I always liked is the dudes who would sell it like it burned.
Depends. Some burned, some blinded.
Not just like getting it in the eyes.
The red mist. The red mist burns. The blue. I think the blue and the other ones just blind you. The green blinds you, or the I forgot the whole thing. But there's a whole breakdown of this.
So anyway.
Yeah. Back to WWE.
Well, no, we were talking about AEW.
Yeah.
So Jericho versus Tana is going to be amazing. But also, like, does he show up as AEW champion versus Tanahashi? Put that belt on the line. Tanahashi gets the AEW belt.
I was told 100% no. I anticipate him dropping the title on AEW TV.
Really?
Not a pay-per-view.
So here's the thing. I do like this is it's so great to speculate about like new awesome wrestling stuff. I think Cody's announcement is going to be, if I don't beat Jericho, I'm retiring from in-ring action. Right?
Okay, that's I don't know. I've heard nothing about this. That's interesting though.
Cody beats Jericho.
Okay.
The following week, Cody puts the belt up, and there's another tournament for the championship, and that gives Jericho like his.
Why wouldn't Cody defend the title?
I just feel like he's got so much to concentrate on behind the scenes that he's taking himself out of the ring for a while.
So right now, Chris Jericho's 5-0 overall and 3-0 in singles.
Wow.
Cody is 4-1-1 with 3-0-1 in singles.
Where are you looking at this?
I have a power ranking. It's an unofficial power ranking that somebody made. Adam Page is 4-3-0 with a singles of 3-2-1, 3-2-0. Pac 2-1-1, 2-0-1. Kenny Omega overall 5-3 with singles as 2-2. Kenny Omega is doing terrible as far as winning matches.
Yes.
Rio is 6-1 with a 4-0 singles record, which is interesting. Tag team SVU 6-3, 3-2 for tag. SCU. What did I say?
You said SVU.
SVU
is
Mariska Hargitay.
Mariska Hargitay showing up?
Yeah. And what's the other one's name? O'Malley?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm curious about this. I'm curious how this power ranking is going to affect everything. Listen, man, it's going to be a fun show.
Keep it up.
I'm really looking forward to the Moxley Kenny Omega match. I would like to see a little bit more from Kenny Omega. We're only a month in.
I know.
But I would like to see them. You got to remember, we are aware who he is. Most people are not.
Right.
So when they watch this, they have no idea who Kenny Omega is.
Right.
What does it say? How his perception on TV right now. What does that mean to everybody?
Okay.
That's my big question here.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'll see.
So, all right. So this is a good week for wrestling. Also, I'm excited about Wednesday. Wednesday nights have been awesome. Friday night SmackDown has been pretty good. We're getting Full Gear on Saturday, right?
Yep.
And I'm glad. I like that they do their pay-per-views on Saturday.
I don't like it for this exact reason.
Because you're going to a
wedding?
Because
I have christenings and weddings and birthdays and all this stuff.
You could say no.
You know what? I thought about it.
Say no.
I can't. It's my neighbors, and I like them.
You could say no. You could just turn your back. Turn your back on everybody.
Listen, guys, I'm sorry. There's an AEW pay-per-view.
So we also have in January 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. I think January 4th and 5th, right? At the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
So they established the main event for both nights, right? They didn't do it they announced it after Power Struggle. So the first night, it's Okada versus Ibushi. Right?
First, that is the main event. Okada and Ibushi. Ibushi takes it?
I think Ibushi takes it.
Okay.
The second main event is Jay White versus Naito.
Jay White versus Naito for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
Right.
Okay.
I think Naito takes it.
You think Naito takes it? Okay. Now leading to the second night.
Night 2 is champion versus champion.
The winners.
The winner is co-champion.
And both titles on the line.
Right.
First time ever.
Right.
A champ. I actually, that is such Western booking, by the way, which I love in this scenario.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Jay White winning and beating Ibushi.
Really? I think it's going to be Ibushi beating Naito.
I would listen. The great story is Ibushi winning and beating Naito and winning both titles.
He deserves it.
I do think he deserves it. By the way, Ibushi, do you know how old he is? He's 64 years old.
I know. He don't crack.
He looks ridiculous.
He's 38.
He's not a super young guy.
My wife thought he was like 22.
He does look very young.
When I showed her the last Naito match from G1 where it was just all neck spots. She was like, that young man's gonna hurt himself. I'm like, he's old.
Oh yeah, because your wife knows this stuff.
Yeah.
Does she watch and she could give you her medical evaluation? Which she does, right?
Yeah. She'll be like, he just got slammed on his tarple or whatever.
His tarple.
Whatever that fit is.
Where is the tarple?
It's right above the butt crack.
Okay.
So the next night, you're getting Liger's retirement match.
Who's he facing? It's
TBA. I do think, and I've said this for the last year, I think it's going to be Okada.
Him and Okada in the retirement match? I'm curious. You know what? There's so many people you could put him with.
45-minute match.
Listen, dude, we got to see him. We saw him last year, and we saw Muta last year, and we saw Minoru.
And everybody. We saw Okada and Ibushi and Naito.
Yeah.
All the awesomes.
But for me, it was seeing Muta.
Yeah, Muta. That was a surprise.
By the way, there's a great Muta painting on my wall behind Rich that Rich drew.
It's
the many faces of Muta, which I absolutely love that I have.
It's not a bad painting.
It's a great painting.
By
the way, I ordered the Liger action figure.
Same here. Yo, we got to get we got to get some kind of sponsorship from Storm Collectibles and or Ringside Collectibles.
Why don't we do like a giveaway with them?
Let's do a giveaway.
Do you have a contact there?
I don't.
Let's reach out and let's do like a giveaway to our audience, because I think that unbelievable Liger one.
Liger's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stunning. I paid $60 for it. Thing looks great.
And that's also like I don't want to say that's on the Storm figures are usually like 70 to like 110 each.
So it's on less
like
expensive
the
side.
You know, the Hogan I got for like 35, but
that
also,
Hogan looks great.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's so awesome. Anyway, I think the Wrestle Kingdom is going to be good. We had a lot of great wrestling, even SummerSlam.
And
Survivor Slam?
Survivor Slam.
Slam Summer?
And then it gets crappy in December, right?
Yeah.
Because we go into what, TLC?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're back into WrestleMania season with it just starts in January.
Yeah.
We start speculating what the main event of WrestleMania is. We start talking about Royal Rumble, which is my favorite pay-per-view of all time. It's crazy, you know, how this year went by so fast, and there was so much great wrestling.
Yeah.
But the boom period that everybody was predicting is not now.
Do you think it's going to be like within the next few months?
I think it depends. They're not going to be able. We're in a whole. I was talking to someone that kind of understands this a little bit better. Like, he's not from the wrestling side, but he was talking about TV, and he said, "Listen, a boom period for anything is very difficult now because trends are short-lived, or they don't catch on like they used to."
Yeah, man.
It's just, I think for AEW, they've done a tremendous job at a young audience. If you break down these ratings,
yes,
they're killing it with the younger audience.
100%.
Because they seem cool.
They are cool.
And this is something, and everybody's like, well, it could be like TNA. TNA never had a cool factor.
No.
Ever. Zero. And I'm not knocking the wrestlers. It had nothing to do with them. But TNA always had the stink of WCW, and they always had the stink of TNA.
Too south.
It was too
southern.
It just didn't work.
I think also AEW has really good celebrity crossover appeal. Like, you had Kevin Smith and Jamie Hughes on your first episode.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Chris D'Elia, the comedian, was posting about Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, loves Orange Cassidy.
And I'm like, yeah, this is great, man.
Because it's different. It's not the same. Everybody at one point, if you're a guy, there is a point in your life that you have either watched wrestling or been interested in wrestling. It's just how it happens. By the way, my daughter loves Hogan.
Who doesn't?
Okay. My kids put him in timeout the other day. Did you see the photo?
Yeah, I saw the photo.
They put him in timeout, and they didn't let him leave because he was being a bad boy. That's what my daughter told me. Now my daughter just wants to see Hulk Hogan and doesn't understand why he rips his shirt.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, that's what he does. He goes, why is he fighting in his underwear? I'm like, oh, that's what he does. He fights in his underwear.
That's what he does.
Yeah. It was so interesting. Show the Muda painting. It's on the wall. I can't move the camera. I'll show it after the show. Guys, submit your questions in the chat room. We got about 40 people here watching. Tuesday episode of Mat Men. We're back. I'm feeling so much better. I could function now. I could talk now. I'm still not 100%. My chest is all screwed up. I get gassed out going up the stairs. It's terrible.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Go back to the doctor.
I did. They said it's going to take weeks. So I really appreciate all the support and all the messages. People are very concerned why we didn't do a show. I also don't want to be in a confined space with Rich.
Yeah, that is
and
true.
cough all over him.
Yeah. I'm also glad really about that. Thank you.
So I would rather not do a show and risk him getting sick and wait a couple weeks. But submit your questions here in the chat room. We got a whole bunch of people here. As many as you want. Just fire them our way, and we'll do our best to answer them. Derek, by the way, Derek is the #1 Matt Riddle fan.
Oh, nobody beats Derek as far as being a Matt Riddle fan.
He sends me Matt Riddle underwear shots on Facebook. And he's like, check this out. Just zoomed in on his package.
He texts me pictures of his boners
all the time.
And he just writes Matt Riddle on him with a Sharpie.
Yeah.
Is Shibata returning at Wrestle Kingdom? Have you heard anything on that?
I heard that he is trying.
Yeah. He's looking really good.
So the only thing I did see is that the last time, they're working an angle here for Shibata.
And Kenta.
Yeah. Shibata, by the way, the surgery that he had, they were very concerned he wouldn't survive.
Right.
Okay? This was very serious. A very, very serious injury.
Yeah. He basically had a stroke.
Basically. He's back. And the last time he took a couple things in a ring, they were protecting his head. They weren't doing that with this time.
Right.
They were very much like, okay, this is like a real moment. I think they're working that. I don't know 100% if it's going to happen, but I see it happening.
Well, I mean, like, the big surprise is if this dude, and this is going to answer this next question from Everything Pro Wrestling, what do you do with Kenta at Wrestle Kingdom 14? I think if they go with Shibata, I do see Shibata versus Kenta for that never open weight title, and Shibata taking it as, like, the big story.
But Shibata can't. I think this will be his last one.
Also,
he can't. Also, go ahead.
I was going to say, Kenta, the series of Kenta versus Ishii has been nothing short of phenomenal.
I thought you were going somewhere else.
Out of each other.
I thought you were going somewhere else.
Where was I going?
To Edge.
Oh, yeah, Edge.
I'm told he's really good.
Survivor Series.
I don't know. I don't know. I was told that he's...
Imagine if Edge goes to NXT.
You think you know me. I expect a lot more Edge in 2020.
Do you feel the wrestling podcast market is oversaturated? How could someone stand out? Yes, it is. It's very oversaturated. Not only do you have you have fan podcasts, you have terrible fan podcasts, and you have guys who are pro wrestlers podcasts, and then you have terrible versions of that too. So there's everything is out there. How do you stand out?
We stand
take your cock out.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we started really a long time ago.
Yeah.
Our viewership comes from downloads for the podcast. That's where our numbers are. Huh?
And we're cute.
And we're cute. But no, it's all audio downloads. But we were here. I mean, we've been doing this how many years now? 6 years? 7 years?
More than that, dude.
We do it because we really enjoy doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do something different. We're not reading the news. I'm not Dave Meltzering people.
Right.
We add we add your personality. Have fun.
Derek Schropnell, is Jim Cornette the biggest tool in wrestling today?
I have to tell you, I don't hate Jim Cornette.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate Vince Russo.
Yeah.
I don't hate Eric Bischoff. Like, I don't know these guys.
Yeah.
And it's an act.
Exactly. And I also think that the era of the bitter ex-superstar is coming to an end very quick. Also, one thing we haven't talked about, Sami Callihan as world champion.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's leading up to Tessa winning, right?
Do you think so?
I think so.
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
I think so. I think that's leading up to Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard!
I also want more RVD on Impact.
Oh, heel RVD is so good with the sexy babes in the tub.
It's pretty awesome.
Did you hear the promo he cut? How he was the first at everything?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was great. Finn's promo last week on NXT was fantastic. I like how the quote unquote the Prince is back.
The Prince is back. Yeah. He could do Prince Devitt if he wants.
Yeah. Let's get more.
Some more questions.
Let's get more questions. You think he'll come out on that big dude's shoulders? That big dude from NXT. What's his name?
I think you should start doing it.
Oh, I forgot his name. I don't want to mess up his name. Oingo Boingo.
Oingo Boingo.
The big. He's like 6'7". He kind of looks like Bad Luck.
Who are you talking about?
In NXT.
Bubba Tunde?
Bubba Tunde, yeah. If he came out on Bubba Tunde's shoulders, I'd be in heaven.
Bronson Reed. Do it with Bronson Reed.
Yeah, Bubba Tunde.
Let's see.
Moxley cut an amazing promo last week, too. Everybody's promos are getting kicked up several notches.
Does MJF turn on Cody and cost him the title?
No.
That's a possibility. That's leading up to something right now.
They've teased it, but I think it's done.
Here's a problem with that, okay? Yeah. If he does it now, it would totally negate everything that he did prior.
Right.
And it would be such a NWO, WCW thing, because I never understood, like, in the same match, right? You would fight and you would beat the guy up, and then you would turn on your opponent and two-sweet him. You just punched me in my face 5 minutes ago. What are you doing?
Right.
No, I don't want you in my crew, you lunatic.
Right, exactly.
Time hasn't gone by.
Too much.
Give me a week or two.
No time has gone by.
No time has gone by. Moxley promo was good. Let's see. Any other questions before we wrap it up here?
This was fun.
This was fun today.
This is good. We got to...
did you hear that Dave Meltzer and Seth Rollins are in a feud?
About what?
Seth has turned into a bitter old man.
You think so?
He's become...
He's the company man, dude.
He really is. And now, like... He's fighting with everybody on Twitter. He got into a Dave Meltzer.
He's the front line now
because
of WWE.
Dave reported like he gave like a big rah-rah speech. And Seth came out and said that he's an idiot and he's a liar. and none of that happened. He's like, so this is the trend. Seth talked, and I guess he's really mad at me. I guess I'm in good company with the people he's been knocking lately. Can you imagine? Seriously, with the number that they've done on his career, and he's still, I don't know, what am I gonna say? And Alvarez goes, what's he mad about? I mean, he mentioned hashtag rah-rah. Is he trying to claim this dog is gonna step on the power?
Oh no.
Is he trying to claim that he didn't do a rah-rah speech and that you inaccurately reported it? I couldn't tell you because he didn't explain it. I was told that he was out there basically giving the locker room a locker room leader speech and was very pro-company. So Seth is feuding with him.
You know what's funny about that? Like, I read like the supposed insider nonsense about what Seth was saying, and one of the things Seth was saying is like, the speech was basically, "Yo, don't go on the internet and talk about our stuff."
Yeah.
That, and somehow all of that ended up on the internet.
Yeah. It's a very different era right now.
Who's it gonna be? I want to know who the ultimate mark is in the locker room for WWE.
What is this dog
that's
doing?
Giving everybody that's giving all the information away.
Oh, it's everybody.
I feel like, imagine, I don't think it's dudes like, you would think it's like a guy like Ryder or somebody like that, right? But it would be hysterical if it was
I'm tangled.
Brock Lesnar. Yeah, are you okay? We gotta end the show.
The dog got stuck. I have 3 people that tell me stuff.
It's Brock Lesnar. One's Brock Lesnar.
One is not Brock Lesnar. 1.5 is talent. And the other one is not.
It would be hysterical if it was Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar, and or like I can't see Roman doing it, but like
I have spoken to Paul.
Like Miz.
I have spoken to Paul.
Like Miz knows everything that's going on.
You know what I did talk to Paul about? Certain online journalists that report fake stories.
Oh yeah.
And him crapping on them. He sent me a DM about this.
Really?
Yeah. About a certain internet WWE insider.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Listen, I think a lot of people leak stuff to everybody. I think
it's stupid.
It's just part of the game.
Yeah.
And it's good for them because it creates speculation and it creates interest.
Right.
I don't think the SmackDown rating would have been as high if the Saudi situation didn't happen.
Right.
So
it's Triple H.
Like, I'm told by multiple people multiple things, and I try to connect the story.
Right.
When it happens, like the Saudi story, this came from talent.
Triple H is deep throat. He's in this situation. He's given everybody Mark nonsense.
Imagine if it's him.
It'd be so great.
Yeah.
It's been me all along.
Yeah. I think they do it right. Listen, by the way, the other thing is they do that all the time. That they go and they release fake stories.
There's a lot of purposefully done stuff, if not to pop the fan. The
CM Punk story for him returning years ago was purposely told to Dave and other journalists to make them look like idiots.
Yep.
I know that for a fact. That they went to Dave Meltzer and said CM Punk is coming back in Chicago. And they went, and he couldn't confirm the story with anybody else.
Yeah.
They did this to this one person went and told everybody this to make them look like idiots. That's just how it is.
That guy's going to come back to NXT.
I don't know.
Imagine.
I don't know. But you know what, though?
The 5th man?
He's... I don't know. Well, Survivor Series has had a old guy return.
Yep.
Let's see.
It's pretty cool.
Maybe it's Edge. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Green Lives Matter says it's Hornswoggle.
I think it is. Let's go home.
All right. We're going home. All right, guys. That's it for this week. We'll be back next week. Subscribe to us. We're everywhere podcasts are available. Obviously here on YouTube, and we're on social media. Matt Men Podcasts everywhere, and we'll see you all next time. Take care.
Later.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys later. I got to do What the Tech if you guys want to watch. I have John Prosser on. See you guys later.